Good morning and welcome to Teal House Farm, not at the Teal House. We are visiting Grandpa Dan and Grammy, and we're going to take a tour of Grandpa Dan's sort of semi-solar off-grid setup in his very suburban backyard. So, let's go. Known as Grandpa Dan, who is also happens to be my dad, and he has kind of a little neat, semi-sustainable kind of ish setup. And I just want to show you what he's got going out here to show you that you don't need to have, 20 acres and live way out in the country to be able to do anything that is homesteading like. So let's take a look at what he's got, and maybe it'll be something to inspire you all. All right. Grandpa Dan, tell us a little bit about what you got. How much acreage do you have?
I have only about half an acre, but I built a little shed out in the back, and we've got one of those greenhouses for about $400. Mm-hmm. And we haven't really used that yet.
That's new this year, right? It's ready to go.
Yes.
You have a raised bed, it looks like, back there?
We have a raised bed in between them.
And what do you got going on over here?
That's our rainwater collection, 165 gallons of water. The way these work is that rainwater comes off the asphalt roof, which isn't the best. It'd be better if it was a metal roof or a plexiglass roof, but asphalt will do. And it comes through a strainer there, and this is called the flush, or the pre-flush. This collects with about 7 gallons of water, which we waste at the first rain, because all the bird poop and dirt and everything else comes off the roof first, and it collects in here, and then it very slowly drains out.
So you don't have to manually flush your flush, it does it itself?
We just leave the cap on very loosely, and it drips out over an hour or two, and that drains the flush for the next rainstorm. But after about 7 gallons, the water's fairly clean. It comes into the 3 tanks. It goes 1, 2, 3. And then we have the system for dispersing the water out, and we have just a plain old tap here. And we also have 2 other taps down here for connecting another type of hose. We're eventually going to run this out to the front to be able to wash the cars. And but these really...
Whoa! To clarify though, this is not meant to be drinking water, correct?
It's not drinkable. It always has to be filtered, but we use it for watering the garden and the lawns and things like that. And in an emergency, we could boil it. We also have a Berkey filter now for Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
That we can use to also extra filter it. But you can always boil it and use iodine or scentless chlorine too.
And how much do you know, like if you get a good strong rain, how much does that give you?
Only a quarter to half an inch of rain will fill these in less than an hour.
And that's how many gallons?
165.
Free water.
Free water. Comes right off the roof.
So the tiny house here has some solar components, am I correct?
Yes, it's got solar lighting on the outside because there's no power to it.
Now, is this the same light we use in that you got us that we use to milk the goats?
That's the very same light.
So we highly recommend this light, and I will put a link down in the description if you want to check it out. We use this in the barn where we don't have electricity when we're milking our goats. It's very bright.
The sun is that way, so our solar panel for our light is on the back here. We have another solar panel over here, which drives our charging system. Ooh.
So this is all charged by your solar panel?
That's right.
Do you know how many watts that solar panel is?
It's only, I think, a 10-watt solar panel.
So, and we'll put a link for that down in the description as well if you want to check out that solar panel and the components. Now, did you buy that solar panel as a set with the inverter and all?
I did. It came with a really cheap inverter And we got a much better one. We got this MPPT solar charge controller. MPPT is a better type of solar panel controller, charger controller, than the more simple but low cost decoder that it came with.
Okay.
The charger controller it came with.
So how long does it take this station to charge your power tool batteries? Do you know?
Less than an hour.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Less than an hour.
And then we have some off-grid lighting.
We do. We have these little windows, which the sun is directly back there. So it comes in here, bounces off these aluminum foil covered reflectors. It allows me to light my workbench.
That's clever.
Without using any electricity.
So we do not have any electricity at all run to the shed, is that correct?
None whatsoever.
And today is very cloudy out. There is no direct sunshine, and you can see that he still has enough light to be able to do some work. So that's pretty neat. System for the inside of the shed. How does it work?
Well, it's plexiglass enclosed and it's sealed, and air comes in vents in the bottom, and it heats in here and goes out the dryer pipe into the shed.
So the theory behind, there's no electricity used or anything like that. It's just that warm air, the air comes in, it gets hot because of the glass and the black.
Correct. And it raises the temperature upwards. It might come in at 40 degrees and it goes out at about 140 degrees. It's incredible. And all this is just metal meshing. You can use soda cans stacked together. You can use downspout aluminum or metal pipes. It just has to be black to collect the most heat off the sun. And it gets really hot and just vents right into the wood shop here.
And how many square feet is your wood shop?
It's 10 by 12.
And you feel like it does a decent job?
Yes.
So, and you cover it with that in the summer because
in the summer we cover it with this so it doesn't heat up, because we don't need to heat it. So I take this off in the winter so that it helps heat up the inside.
All right, and something we did want to mention is that you are in the middle of a neighborhood. A somewhat of, I would say, a classier neighborhood, and you do have an HOA that has rules, and you're still able to do all of this.
That's right.
You just have to keep it somewhat discreet and nice looking.
Correct.
So you can still do some of these homesteading-like things for yourself, even if you're in the confines of a nice neighborhood, as long as you're just clever about where you place everything. Looking from the street, you wouldn't even know there was a greenhouse here, because all you see is this nice little shed. So. Alright, and finally we have our greenhouse. We put our affiliate link down in the description and you can check it out. Do you remember how big this greenhouse is, Grandpa Dan?
This one is 6 by 8.
Okay. And this is brand new. They have not used it yet. They're going to start next year. Well, we're going to stay out here, Annie, but they just finished setting it up. Give a little tour here around. Some of our more experienced gardening viewers might have suggestions. They've just recently built this, but they're already having a problem with fire ants, which we do not have where we live. And so if any of you have a suggestion on how to get the fire ants to move out without using chemicals, because that seems to be the point that they've gotten to, that's kind of their last resort, please comment below so I can let them know things to try so they don't have to spray a whole bunch of chemicals in the greenhouse. So this is the raised bed, which also has a fire ant problem. You want to show me? He's still, yeah, I see him. I don't know if you can see him on the camera. Here they come.
Yeah, here they come. Oh yeah, look at that.
So again, if you have any suggestions, please let us know. They'd like to not have to spray chemicals, but they're really not sure how to get rid of them. This is my sister, Carrie, which I don't think you've ever been in a vlog. So this is your vlog debut.
I think you saw the back of my head in that video where we moved in that thing in your kitchen.
So she is part investor / owner in the greenhouse, in charge of...
And I built it.
And she built it. So what do you plan on growing in the greenhouse this year?
Well, we're going to start our summer vegetables early. We're going to grow peppers for sure. We're going to also start cucumbers and probably some squash early, and maybe keep them in there till later in the summer. We have a lot of squash borers, in the area, and what they do is they lay eggs around the base of the squash, and then the larvae burrow in and eat the plant basically from the inside out and kill everything. Yeah. But usually by July they're pretty much done, so you can then plant. And since we have a longer growing season in North Carolina, it usually works out pretty well.
Now you think you said you were zone 7, is that right?
We're 7B in this part of North Carolina.
So that's a big difference, because we're zone 5, and that I have a pretty short growing, like I gotta get it in and get it out. Not compared to some of our viewers who are in Canada who have like 2 months to grow things.
Right. So we can actually grow. We could probably put some peppers and stuff in and maybe get something even during the winter. So, or colder things like spinach and I have some radish seeds that we were going to try if we can get the fire ant issue under control.
So Grandpa Dan used to work for the man, and you have been done working for the man for 19 years. No, yeah, that's right, 19 years. Almost 20 years. Decided to become his own business owner.
That's right.
And stop working for somebody else. But you haven't been interested in this kind of more homesteading, off-grid, collecting your own water type stuff. How long has that interested you?
About 2 or 3 years. And mostly I got inspired by you and Sam and all you're doing.
Even simple things like drying your laundry on a rack can save you electricity. They probably can't, I have to check, but they probably can't have an outside line here because of HOA rules, but even something like this, a rack on their porch, saving them some electricity and doing something a little better for the environment. Say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Alright, well thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you next time, probably back from the Teal House. Hope you all had a very Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon. Push the button.